Hey guys, welcome back to another livery build, and today I'm making... Who am I making? Richard Cooper, that's right. I'm making Richard Cooper today. I made this one quite some time ago. It's the Buildbase Suzuki. It's not been made before, which kind of surprised me. I was looking through, as I often do, all the liveries that people have been creating and looking at the most downloaded and see what's happening. And yeah, surprised me not to see this one already made because it's quite a striking and quite a nice looking Suzuki. I wondered why. Let's find out. Let's have a go at making it and see if it is really that difficult or if it's just a hidden gem that has been missed. So when I'm watching this back, what I've noticed is I've made the blue like a satin colour, which if you look at images of the bike, it is kind of satin. However, the one that I've got and using on the game is not satin, so I must have changed it at some point. I think it maybe didn't look right on track, because oftentimes with this satin colour it looks absolutely spot on when you're here in this editor, but when you take it out on track it's like several shades darker. So I think I probably went against that later on. We'll find out, but yeah, if you do think about using this kind of satin base colour, just remember that it is out on track. When the light is hitting it, it absorbs a lot of the light, which is a bit of annoying, but for the purpose of seeing it in this editor and in the showroom, then it will look spot on. The front of the bike is quite difficult. There's a lot of intricate lines, and as you've heard me speak of before, the motorcycles in real life utilize the little bit of the windscreen at the top to put some of their stickers. I don't have that luxury, so I have to try and reimagine the front of the bike to try and fit all of the sponsors and details to the best of my ability on just the fairing. So you can see I do take a little bit of time trying to get that right, but in the end I think it turns out really smart. But it's just trying to find out which shapes work best, and am I bringing those shapes to the right part of the front, because you can see now that the white doesn't quite fit perfectly in the black. So a little bit of trial and error. I didn't have many great images to use, to be honest, and if you've tried making older bikes, and I'm not talking about legendary older bikes like the Repsol Honda or the Castrol and whatnot, if you're looking at like older bikes from maybe like even just 5 to 10 beyond years ago, it's surprisingly hard to find really good images. Or I'm just crap at finding really good images. But I did have, I think, 1 or 2 of this bike that was enough to get me by. It certainly helped on the side, but the front I had to try and do what I'm doing now and wing it. So as I say, I've made this one a couple of weeks ago now. It's been live, you can see it, you can download it, and I have just been too busy. Life has certainly got in the way recently, a lot of kind of stuff to handle. So I haven't really had time to put together YouTube videos that I used to have. So there has been a couple of bikes that I've posted and I've made that are not recorded. My bad on that. So if you are over on Ride Liveries, get yourself over, take a look at some of the more newer bikes that have been made since this one. We've got a absolutely fantastic Milenko Luke Mossy livery, which came out super well, and I'm gutted that I didn't record it. I recorded the first part and then I went ahead and made it and then realized I hadn't recorded it, and I was like, damn. Outside of that, I've made a couple of custom liveries that are for people. I've made a special pink Monster Energy livery, and I've also done another Monster Energy race livery quite recently with the number 27 on the front on the race model. So I'm still active, even though that maybe not as active as before, but I'm still grafting and putting some stuff together. My giddy aunt, I am still working on the front. It was quite challenging. I don't remember it being this hard. I really wanted to get the details in the best I could. Anyway, elsewhere of making liveries, I've also been sharing more stickers than I usually would and making stickers that I think people would find useful. Stickers, especially from like the British Superbike paddock, so you can now grab, let's see, Vision Track I've put on. This one that you're seeing on screen now, the Oxford products, you can grab that. You can grab Milenko. You can grab the Carl Cox Motorsport, which was quite a difficult one to do. You can grab the Revsyoha Yamaha. I had honestly thought that had been done to death, and there was no need for me to even share or make it, but there you go, you can have that one too, that's on there. As well as the pink Monster Energy set. It's not a daunting sticker to make. I know it's one that everybody's waiting for. As soon as a ride or MotoGP game comes out, everybody's like, okay, it's that time again, time to get the Monster Energy sticker. It's not actually that hard, having done it now for the first time. Wasn't too bad to do. I think what it is you can very, very easily go wild on the layers to get all of the indentations on the Tear logo. It's quite a complex livery, but using my method of just making one massive letter at a time, when I put it all together, it looked alright. So yeah, maybe it's just with experience, but it wasn't too bad. But as I said, it's not a small amount of layers. So I moved on to the side now. I had some pretty decent images of the side. It's quite an interesting side, actually. Usually when I've been making Suzukis, it's just slap a big Suzuki sticker down the side of it. This one's a little bit more complex, but you can see how I handle it. Also, while I'm here, we recently surpassed 500 posts on Ride 5 Livery's Instagram. 500. If you've made one sticker, just one sticker, if you've made a bike, if you've made your own bike on Ride and you've made the stickers for it, then you know how many hours it takes. You know the time it takes to try and get it right. And there is now a gallery with 500 very good replicas made that you can download. I never thought we would get to 500. Honestly, I was surprised we got to 100. But thank you for engaging with that. It's not just for me. I did it because it was a tool for myself, really, to find liveries that I wanted. Because the search functionality for liveries in Ride 5, in Ride 5 and all previous rides suck, right? I mean, you tend to just see the most downloaded liveries of all time, which doesn't translate to the best liveries of all time. It translates to who was there first, who made a decent livery in the first week of the ride life cycle. So I wanted to try and create, like, okay, here are the actually really good ones that you probably would want to use if you were making your own championship or if you were using them in the career mode. It's not just me that's made these liveries. I've made a lot. Found out this week that I have made and shared 632 items of content. That's a scary number considering how long one takes. And it's other people too. There's in the early days there was a lot of active people. I can think of Manalis, Bulletsu46, Evil Phil UK, and then throughout the life cycle, other people come in and start making liveries, and they're really good, and I share them, like Orange Skunk. You've got Mappo as well in the early days. So it's not just me, but what a fantastic resource it has been, and it has allowed me to make really, really good connections with the rail racing world, because that's kind of another one of the motivations to doing it. You guys are spending a lot of time making a bike for a rider who might not even see the time that you've made and put into to make his bike on the game, and that is cool. If I'm a racer, I want to know if some guy's made a really good version of my bike and people can actually ride on my bike. I would love that. And that's another kind of motivation, and through that I've made some really good connections into the motorcycle racing world, World Superbike and BSB Paddock mainly, but what an honour it has been. And I don't know what will happen when Ride 6 comes out. I would assume that the search functionality is better. If I look at some of their more recent games, like the Hot Wheels games, you can kind of filter a little bit better. You can see, oh, I can look at the best content shared this week or the best stickers made over the last month, and I can actually start to see some things that are coming that I probably would have missed because of the amount of pages that you have to scroll through in Ride 5. So my assumption is that come Ride 6, if we get Ride 6, that the search functionality will be a lot better, and I probably wouldn't need to have the gallery. Maybe I just put more custom stuff in, or I don't know, share my own things. I'm not sure yet. But hopefully milestones see the value that can be had by having this kind of search functionality, or the ability to pick up really good replicas that have been made, but because they were made like a year after the game released, then get them the visibility that they deserve, right? Someone took a lot of time on that. So hopefully we see some improvements there, and then we'll see what happens. We'll see if it's needed. It's been an honor doing this, and I will continue throughout the whole of Ride 5. There are less liveries, to be honest, less replica liveries, and it might be that we've run out. All of the well-known liveries are now made. We've completed it. Maybe that's the case, but there's certainly less people now making replicas than there was before, and that's fine, you know. But as a result, there's kind of less posts, so I'm thinking maybe I can make some custom stuff or do some bits and pieces just to kind of keep the posts coming and kind of keep the engagement up. But yeah, thank you to everybody who's in there and just using it as a resource. It's just a free resource. People are putting a lot of hours into this, so I have maximum respect to anybody who can make really good replicas. And yeah, it's an honor to try and get that out there, and you know, there's people who have a lot of pride in their work and they share it on social media to their tens of followers, or if they're lucky, maybe 100 or so. But I think with the time it takes and the effort and how difficult it is to make a sticker on this game, I don't think some people realise that it's not. You haven't just typed out that name and given it a font. It is shapes, squares and circles that have made it. To try and get that out there and communicate that has been an honour. And milestone, I am available to hire. So we are getting towards the end of this bike. I don't think we're going to run out of layers. There wasn't really any big layer sinks on this one. You can see that I've put the vision track on though as well. I have shared that one for you. I'm not sure if I shared the Buildbase. Surely I did. I'll share that later. But some finishing touches. And you can see the satin. It looks nice actually on this screen. Put a little bit of grip tape because we have the layers. Why not? So cool to make a Richard Cooper livery as well. The guy is an amazing rider. Check out this. This is the Buildbase Suzuki of Richard Cooper. Richard Cooper can jump on any bike, anywhere, and be competitive. The guy can go to Daytona and be at the sharp end. He can jump on a super sport bike in British Superbikes and win. He can head over to the Northwest 200 and win in a road race. So much respect for him. What a talent. Really, one of the most underrated British racers, in my view. Let's take it out for a ride. I'm not sure if I rode the satin version or the gloss version. Both are shared, so we'll find out. That looks like gloss to me. I made a suit as well, so you can grab a matching suit. There was some decent images of Richard and his suit. It's a nice one. Some suits can be a little bit bland, but this one was quite interesting. And it is, of course, appropriate to be riding around Brands Hatch with the final of the British Superbikes on our doorstep. Who you got? Kyle Ride? Brad Ray? Or are you going out on a limb and putting your money on Leon Haslam? I love that the social media is like, and don't forget Leon Haslam, he's got a chance too. It's between these three. And the comments are like, nah, dude, it's not between them three. But yeah, crazier things have happened. You just saw me grab a screenshot. I usually cut that, didn't cut it this time, behind the scenes. That'll be on the thumbnail. Yeah, really nice looking bike. I was able to stick some stickers under the tail as well, which I like to if I've got the space. And there we go. That's a screenshot of the gloss. You can see that it's much darker out on track than what it looked like. Not gloss, satin. And then out on the grass track in here with the gloss version looking a lot more bluer. Anyway, I'll be back at some point. I've been trying to do a really difficult livery for some time now and failing. If I get it, I'll share it, and I'll catch you next time on the next one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following and everything. I really do appreciate it. And I'll speak to you very soon.